Hi, my name is Susan and welcome to Sketchbook Stories. In this series I'm going to open up the pages of my own sketchbooks to show you exactly what's inside. The good, the bad and the messy. I will explain the story behind each sketch and describe exactly how it was created. Let's get stuck in. Hi everybody and welcome. My name is Susan and today I'm opening up the pages of this little cappuccino pad. It's a small sketchbook, 14 centimetres squared, 5.5 inches squared, and it contains a toned sketching paper. And when we call something a toned sketching paper, it means it's basically not white. It has some sort of tone to it. And this particular paper, which is 120 GSM, which is 56 pounds in weight, it's a lovely, smooth, and it is a sort of brown, lovely light brown, so a light to mid-tone paper. Really lovely to work on, and I've been using it to study some landscape sketches, and I wanted to show you this one here that was created using pencil and pastel pencils. Now, the story behind this sketch is that we went on a boat trip. We were in Gran Canaria, and we went on a boat trip from one place to where we were staying to this little town or village called Puerto de Morgan. And it's a little port town, so we took a boat, and I can't remember how long the boat took, but I do remember it was a beautiful ride and I took lots of photographs. And we came across the coast, so the coast was to our right. We came in through the port and there was this lovely little lighthouse and restaurant building and this rocky outcrop as the boat came in. Now, this sketch wasn't completed actually on location on the boat. I did do some sketches on the boat that were much rougher, much quicker, just in a really soft pencil. But this study was actually done slightly later on that same day back in our hotel. So something that's really lovely to do is to just enjoy the place where you're at. Take photographs, maybe take some sketches. I love rough, quick, soft pencil sketches when I'm out and about. But sometimes just looking and observing and really enjoying the atmosphere of a place can be just as helpful for your sketching and your art as sketching on location. So I enjoyed the scenery, I took it in, the sky was beautifully blue, it was warm, and I took lots of photographs. And I just used my smartphone, my iPhone, to take photos. It's convenient. I snap, take lots of photos. So later that day, after we'd done our trip to the market, we'd had a lovely sangria, we'd gone back to the hotel, I took myself off on my own to a little cafe area, and I sat with probably another sangria, it must be said. I took out my iPhone, popped it next to me, and I flicked through the photos. It was a lovely day, it was really warm, but I was in the shade because my very pale skin and the sun do not agree, so I needed to be in the shade. I flipped through the photos and I found one that I really liked compositionally of this particular lighthouse and croppy outrock that, basically encompasses the port area of Puerto de Morgan. And so to start this, I began with pencil and I drew an outline, just a simple outline of the frame. I wanted to do a landscape version. Obviously this page is square, so I find it helpful sometimes to draw myself a window. And then using pencil, I looked at my sketch, I looked at my photograph, and I started to place where the horizon was, which is obviously here where the sea meets the sky, and then mark out this set of rocks and the general positioning of the building and a few details, and then the cliff on this side here. So I began with that sort of pencil drawing, maybe shading in a little bit of detail, but getting things positioned correctly. Once the basic sketch was in place, I then moved to my pastel pencils. And the great thing with working on a toned paper is that you've got somewhere to go, because you're not starting with your lightest tone and having to add dark tones on. You're starting from a mid-tone, so you can add on white and add on dark. So you can take your value or your tonal scale up and down. I like to start with the sky. I always feel in a landscape the sky is a really important part, and it was just a beautiful blue. So using a blue probably this ultramarine. I began at the top and began to colour in the blue and then blending it to the white down here. If you look at the sky, you will always see that it's brighter, more vibrant, more intense and saturated, at the top clearer. And then as it comes towards the horizon, there's lots of atmospheric stuff that gets in, the colours get less saturated, so it becomes more this sort of white colour. So really look at the colours of the sky when you're studying landscapes or seascapes like this. And then I began to play with just layering up different colours into this area. This was a slightly more green cliff area, so I used obviously a combination of a few little greens, and then some brown and black. I love this seal colour of the Derwent pastel pencils would have been added into here. And again, I really tried to observe the colour of the sea. And again, this is a quick sketch. It's not a sketch that took me 3 days to complete. It's probably a 15-20 minute sketch. Just took my time, sipped my sangria, enjoyed the atmosphere, sketching the place where I was at. So I looked at where I needed to put blue, where there was shadow. So obviously there was shadow from this rocky outcrop, so there was shadow shapes coming forwards. And trying to get that difference in the smoothness of the sky and the rippling of the water. So there's some white, some different blues layered on, and some of that sort of dark, I think it's probably this bark or maybe the indigo as well, colour layered on, so a combination. I don't have a huge selection of pastel pencils. I've got, I think, around 13, 14, and I've selected colours that are primarily landscape suitable because that's a lot of what I end up sketching. And that's how that was created. I just kept adding in, and then just the final sort of detail was using a little bit of red, this crimson, just to put the little red details, tiny details on the lighthouse there. And that was my pastel sketch of Porto de Magan. So next time you're out and about, take some reference photos. You can use them later on to work from. Traveling on a boat, obviously the boat moves, so your view of the landscape is constantly shifting. It can be hard to create an exact record of something because you'll be here 1 minute, you'll be there the next minute. So taking a photo, you can snap your particular view that you like, or snap quite a few views and then pick the view that you like. And on your iPhone or your iPad or whatever device you're using, you can zoom in and out. You can select the particular format and ratio that you want. Mark that down with pencil first, get your general basics in, and then start to layer on a little bit of subtle colour. But yeah, that's just my little story behind that sketch, a little holiday sketch when I was out in the sunshine of Gran Canaria. I hope you find that interesting.